Right, thanks, dankie. Ja, dis die twee tale wat ek nie nog nie so. Môre almal, morning. Ek gaan so deur mekaar Engels Afrikaans praat. Anybody want me to speak just English, please? Just you outnumbered 3. You outnumbered. so sorry, I will translate and take it as it is. Just prosperous New Year to all of you. Those that I have not seen you, I trust that 2024 is going to be a much better year than what 2023 was. A lot of challenges lying ahead of us, and going forward from that. So also please, today we are trying something new. You know, technology. We have to try and stay ahead of technology. So we are live streaming. So if there are any questions that anybody has at any stage, I am going to ask that you hold back on those questions until we get to the end of the introductions and the end of our agenda, so that we can then invite you up if your questions have not been answered through the presentation. So ek hoop dat meeste van die vrae geantwoord gaan word voordat terwyl ons deurgaan en so on. Ja, Jandre net, jy moet vir my sê of ek te veel rondbeweeg. Dis nie senuwees nie, dis net ouderdom. Right. So ek wil net ook vra, as ons as bestuur, julle mense ons hulp, ons hande hiervoor, die vergadering in 'n goeie gesindheid sal hanteer. Ek sal vra dat julle nie kan ek sê uit lyn uit gaan nie. Ons weet wat al in die verlede met vergaderings gebeur. So almal sal 'n geleentheid kry om vrae te vra. Any questions later on, please, we will handle it in an orderly manner. So we are not going to skip anybody or miss out anybody. So also to our viewers that are being streamed on the TV, I hope you guys can hear us. I can't see much, so I hope you can see me. So let's take it from there. Then, before I carry on, ek wil net vir Jandre raad my en sê dankie vir die klank en sy bereidwilligheid om al hierdie goed vir ons op te stel. Ek dink is baie belangrik dat ons ook die jeug intrek wat ons help met hierdie tipe goed. En dan wil ek ook in sy afwesigheid vir Gerard Versagie, hy van Trekstel, hy so ondersteun hom ook in die dorp asseblief. Hy is daar by die spa sentrum. Hy is besig om oefeninge te doen vir National Sea Rescue Institute. Hy is deel van hulle. So ook, jy weet, hy dra ons veiligheid as ons uit is op die see of swem op die strand en sulke goed. So ja, dan ook wil ek die vorige bestuur van die inwonersvereniging net dankie sê. Edward Britton wat hier is vandag. Ek sien Willem Waarden ons hier so en ek weet nie of ek van die ander manne. Peer, jammer as ek iemand uitgelos het daar, so maar dankie vir julle werk wat julle al reeds gedoen het. Ek dink daar's jare wat al weer gekom het. Ons is nou in die nuwe era, daar is nou 'n nuwe bestuur wat gekies is, maar ons moet nie vergeet van wat julle in die verlede gedoen het. So ek wil net dankie vir al hierdie mense sê, ons kan hulle 'n goeie hande klap gee. Right, die generator hardloop buite, so hy is daarom 'n bietjie sag, ons het hom weggesteek. Jy weet, Eskom op nommer 99 gister, toe sê hulle nee, julle moet vergadering hou in die donker. So dis kom ons nou al hierdie goed klap buite het wat aangaan. Ek het ook in die week die bestuur van Swartland munisipaliteit genooi om hierso teenwoordig te wees. Ek weet nie of iemand is van Swartland munisipaliteit. En dan ook vir die burgemeester. Hy het my persoonlik gekontak om verskoning te vra. Ek weet baie van hulle is nou nog met vakansie. Hulle begin eers eintlik maandag werk en jy weet, almal is nog in daai lekker vakansie mode en so aan, behalwe party mense moet agter die skerms werk. So ja, dat ek gou kyk. So, yes, so voordat ek nou verder aangaan en question. Jandre, speaker not working. Kan jy nou hoor? Die streaming. Okay, ons gaan nou gou uitsorteer. Thanks for that. You should know better than what. Maybe there's a new link, genre.
Guys, please.
Just a minute.
Guys, please go and search Yzerfontein Residents Association. It's a special general meeting. Just search that, and then you should be able to see on the Yzerfontein Residents Association web channel, yeah, on YouTube. It should be streaming. I mean, we already have about 10 viewers. So people are on it. It's been sent on the group for everything.
Janine, if you can maybe just resend it out again to everybody, and if you guys are
maar ek stem nou hier.
Ek sê nie maar hulle sit by die huis, hulle kan niks sien. Dit is nog iets
It could be that the cell phone signals are down. That's my biggest concern. It was my big concern that might happen. Janine, are you going to try something? Sorry mense, maar dankie daarvoor. Yes. We will. We're getting there. We're getting there. We just want to quickly try and sort out the streaming thing and see what we can get. But thanks for raising the concern. Appreciate it. Now, if you people can please assist, and as I said earlier, you are our hands. So can I ask that you please just notify all your family, all your friends on the WhatsApps that you have, just to say that there's a new link that we are sending through. The previous link, there was a bug in the link. So we are sending through that link out right now as we talk. So if the people could just get that, please, and I do apologize for that, but I'll also ask that you assist, because that's the Residents Association is about, is us at the end of the day. Okay. Can we proceed? Or? Okay, so I do hope that we are getting the people in that. And just please raise a hand and tell me if there's communications from your families or friends. Okay, it seems like it's going. Not like a Boeing. I know it's gone over it, but we'll have drinks later on if we take sponsors on that. Thanks a lot. So, people, just there are a couple of questions, or a question I'd like to ask you is why join the Yzerfontein Residents Association? And I'd like to leave this thought with you as we go through. Yzerfontein is facing escalating development, other pressures and challenges in this town of ours. The previous Residents Association has already addressed some of these, but things are escalating and it's becoming it's all heading towards an objective that somewhere in this year that things have to happen and taking place on that. So your support is crucial. And like we've just seen now with your support on just getting the streaming going, and just shows if we take hands and as a team together, we really can make a big success of this. So your participation in the Residents Association is a direct way in which you can influence the future of this town. It's not just about us as members and management here, it's about all of us at the end of the day. So here's 3 key reasons why you need to register and become a member. It's first, community power. Guys, this strengthens our collective voice. Your membership empowers the management of the Residents Association to shape and manage the development of our town. So without you, we 5 up front here cannot make a success. Information hub. You will gain first-hand insights into activities and happenings within Yzerfontein, and you will stay informed about these. The third one is on the preserving of our culture within Yzerfontein. Amid the rapid growth, your role as a Residents Association member contributes to preserving our unique culture and a way of life in Yzerfontein. So please join, become a member, make a difference. Share this amongst your friends, relatives, other people. There are a lot of people in Yzerfontein that don't have all the communication measures that we post on. So if you know of someone that's battling with this, please explain it to them. Please share that information with them. So we have 3 points on the agenda, which we will be touching on, and today we are only going to be focusing on those 3 points. So to make sure, in the past month, since this committee has been elected, we have had a couple of meetings amongst ourselves, sorting out roles, etc. And I think today, the first point on that agenda is that we introduce ourselves. So what is important to remember, that it doesn't matter who's chairman, who's treasurer, who's who in this management system of ours. We focus as a team. So everything that we do, although we've each got individual roles that we'll be working on, we will share information and we will consensusly come to an agreement on the way forward, so that it is in line with what we want and what you people as the community needs also. So you are one of the most important role players in our Residents Association. So I am Eddie Jansen. I know it's long into this, I've been speaking quite a lot. I've been elected by my colleagues on the left-hand side here as chairperson. My role as chairperson will be to ensure that we have a good relationship with Swartland Municipality, with the mayor, as well as with the DA speaker, Michael Rangsani. So that is my primary role as chairperson, as well as then, being part of the decision making in this group. I then will have on to my left, I have Mark Durr. He's our vice chairperson. I'll give each one an opportunity now to say something about themselves. Mark, vice chairperson. To his left is Janine Young. She is public relationships and communication. Then Peter Koen, treasurer. And then to the far left is Yzerfontein. She's looking at the planning and infrastructure in our management team. Thank you. So I will now give over to Mark and let him just say a few words.
Hi there. Thank you very much for coming, and virtually as well. In the future, we hope to actually have a far more interactive audience virtually as well, which Janine will actually talk about. I'm vice chairman, as Yzer said. I'm a lawyer, stroke investment banker, corporate financier, still practicing actually from my backyard. But in this beautiful town that we all love. And that's the one thing that actually unites us all here. We are here to serve you and to represent you, as Ed has said. and we intend to be as in tune with you and your needs as possible, so that we can actually reflect your desires and so on. So that's the main role that we've got. We're all unified, and the one thing I must say about this group is that we're a wonderful collection of skills. You know, I've got legal and corporate finance skills, he's engineering, we've got transport, infrastructure, accounting, finance. You know, it's a wonderful collection of skills. But one thing I should just add, I know that in town, there are a lot of guys and girls who are retired who've got wonderful skills and experience. And if anybody out there wants to lend a hand in any way, approach us, because we're not a little clique. You know, we can't do it on our own. And if there are people out there who think they can add value, please approach us. We need you. And I think that we can become a winning town, a real winning town. Achieve our blue status beach again. You know, have a wonderful environment where we speak with one voice rather than division and bitchiness and so on, which has actually prevailed over the past year. That has to end. And we're here to unify people and to represent you. So my primary task is to support Ed in his duties. But because of my background, I will actually support all the other portfolios, but especially communications, finance, and planning. I see myself being able to add value in that regard. And my immediate task, I think, that I will have to lead the charge on is rewriting the Constitution to make it more up-to-date and relevant, and to allow for digital voting, to allow proxy voting, because a lot of our people aren't here all the time. Not everybody is as privileged as we are to live here. Others are living overseas or in Cape Town and come on weekends, but they must have a voice, and we intend giving them a voice. I think the one thing that we're going to strive to do is to be as in tune with your needs as possible. And that's why Janine has already set up the concerned group, which immediately gets addressed. We're going to make sure that you are heard and that we act on your thoughts and concerns. Okay, so that's me.
Hi, goeiemôre almal. Good morning. Ek wil vir julle sê baie dankie dat julle hier is vandag. Ek is Janine Young. Ek is aangestel as kommunikasie. So I will be handling all the communication. I started camping in Yzerfontein in 2003. That's now exactly 20 years ago. And I've seen this town change since the little corner cafe there where Rossmead is now. A lot have changed. We've seen a lot of people come and go. We've seen a lot of businesses open and close. We've all had thoughts about how we think the town should be, could be, and how we want it to be. And I think it is important that I am in this position here to be your voice on what we as a town want for our town. And then besides that, my experience in this town, I have been managing the mural security group for the past 3 years. I've seen a lot of complaints which also fall in line with concerns for Yzerfontein as residents. I have also my day job, actually. I'm in transport for the past 15 years. So there's a lot of my background, organizational communication, which puts me in a position to serve the team as well as the members and the residents. And I really hope that we are going to have some good outcome. So, sorry, I actually had a whole speech. I've only said half of it. I've got a deep passion for Yzerfontein. And the YRA has over so many years played a very important role in this town. And I believe as a combination of experience, skills, and passion, we can really contribute as the YRA. Thank you for joining us.
Mag ek Afrikaans praat? Okay, ek is Pieter. Ek bly nie in Yzerfontein, ek het wel eiendom hierso, Pieter Koen, jammer. Ek bly in Durbanville. So ek het my hele lewe lank groot geword in die Kaap. Ek het van 'n baie jong ouderdom met my ouma gebly in Eerste Laan. En ek het vakansies gehad in Kurp Yzerfontein. So ek is self baie lief vir Yzerfontein. Ek dink die dorp is 'n baie spesiale plek. En ek dink hier in Suid-Afrika is nog so 'n plek, is daar nie so 'n plek soos Yzerfontein nie. My rol is die tesourier. Ek is verantwoordelik vir die bank, so ek die bank recon van natuurlik doen en dan die rapportering van die bank, die koneksie maak met die lidmaatskapsfooie na die bank toe. En ek glo ek speel 'n goeie rol in die bestuur om seker te maak dat alle groepe en mense verteenwoordig word. Baie dankie.
Môre almal, my naam is Suzette, soos wat julle weet. My portefeulje is beplanning en ontwikkeling. Miskien moet ek net begin deur te sê, as 'n mens 'n verskil wil maak in Yzerfontein, hoef jy nie briljant te wees nie. Jy hoef nie baie geld te hê nie. Dit sal help, maar 'n mens hoef ook nie foutloos te wees nie. 'n Mens moet net omgee. Mense, ek gee om vir Yzerfontein. Die hele span hier gee om vir Yzerfontein. Nie 'n spesifieke Yzerfontein nie. Yzerfontein wat julle wil hê. Julle is die inwoners, ons verteenwoordig julle. As daardie gevoel skuif van wat ons dink dit is, dan moet julle vir ons sê, ons wil dit hoor. Ons is daar vir julle. Beplanning en ontwikkeling is iets wat nou miskien belangrik is, maar dit gaan nie vir altyd belangrik wees nie. En dit is nie belangrik vir net my of Eddie of enige iemand nie, dit is vir ons nageslag. Ek is baie betrokke ook by Bavaria, ek is ook op hulle komitee, die natuur, die behoud van Yzerfontein, soos wat ons dit ken. Nie noodwendig soos wat dit nou is nie, maar soos wat ons dit ken, is belangrik. Kan ek dit in Engels probeer herhaal? Verstaan julle? Baie dankie. Dankie julle.
Dankie, thanks. That's the team that's going to be representing you. So I hope you're satisfied. You guys did vote us in, so you stuck with us. Okay, at least for you. So I did forget earlier on, because we are live streaming, YouTube does record this, so please take note that somewhere along the line this has been recorded, and hopefully we can get access to that. So thank you, team, and again, as I said, we are a team working together with each other. Almost daily we are communicating with each other, making sure that we're getting the right messages out. So that was the first point. The second point that I'm going to go over to, and I'm going to go back to Suzette, around the development of, what is it, farm, whatever, 560 in Yzerfontein, and the impact that it has. That's the area north of Atlantic. And then thereafter, I will give Janine the word, that she can talk about the communication structures that she's put into place and how it affects each one of us, and feedback that you will be receiving. So I'm then going to go over to Suzette, that she can carry on talking. Please hold your questions if you have any. I hope they're going to get answered. And we will give you the opportunity at the after Janine has done her part. And I see we have our youngest audience member fast asleep over there, so we must be boring. I really hope we are not. So, Suzette, yes, please. Thank you.
Die ontwikkeling. Ons is nou by die hersoeneringsfase. Die aansoek vir die hersoenering. Mense, dit is baie belangrik. As daardie aansoek goedgekeur is dit verby. Dan kan ons niks verder doen nie. As daardie wonderlike fynbos gehersoeneer word vir residensiële huise, dan is die fynbos weg. Dan kan ons dit nie meer keer nie. Ons wil net nog tyd hê om te gaan kyk hoeveel fynbos is daar. Is daar waardevolle fynbos? Jacques van der Merwe, wat 'n kenner is op hierdie gebied, het vir ons gesê, die fynbos, die strandveld, is baie belangrik. Strandveld kom van Weskus Nasionale Park af, loop dit deur Kaapstad se kant toe. So, dit is eintlik 'n aaneenlopende strook, wat ons nie graag wil hê, moet afgesny word in Yzerfontein. Ek dink julle almal stem saam, die fynbos is baie spesiaal. Al die diere, al die fauna, al die flora, al die rustigheid, al die sense of place, wat vir Yzerfontein, wat hier in 'n natuurbewaringsarea geleë is, moet ons fyn trap. Ons moet klein spoortjies trap. Ons moet ligte spore trap. As ons net kan saamkom en besluit, hoe doen ons dit? Dit is nie 'n kwessie van ons sê geen spore nie. Hoe kan 'n mens so wees? Ons moet saam sê, wat is ons bereid om prys te gee teen koste van wie? Dit is mos 'n gee en neem, die hele wêreld, die hele organisasie, Yzerfontein, almal moet kan gee en neem. Ek dink ons moet almal hier weet, ons sal moet gee. Ons sal kan neem. Ons moet 'n middeweg kry. Waar is daai middeweg? Julle sal moet help, asseblief. Die 5 van ons gaan dit nie kan doen nie. Ek alleenig onder ontwikkeling en beplanning kan dit nie doen nie, mense. Ek het hulp nodig. Daar het al baie mense om hulp aanbied. Ons is teen die vinnige, oorhaastige proses van hersoenering. Ek het met Swartland gepraat, die oomblik toe daardie aansoek op hulle tafel geland het. Van daar af het hulle 14 dae gehad om die openbare deelname proses te begin, die public participation. Hulle kan nie anders nie, dit is die munisipale wet. Dit is nie Swartland wat daardie wet opgestel het nie, dit kom van bo af. Soos ons almal anders maar wette moet gehoorsaam, moet hulle ook wette gehoorsaam. So, hulle het 14 dae gehad. Daai 14 dae het begin die 14de Desember. Van daar af het, volgens wet, is daar 21 dae kans om kommentaar te lewer. Mense, 21 dae oor Kersfees en Nuwe Jaar is te min. Ons kan nie. Die mense met kennis, stadsbeplanners, natuurkundiges, almal is met verlof nou. Ons het hier en daar so ver as wat ons kom, het ons met mense, met kenners gekontak, gesê, hoe maak ons nou? Die mense het gesê, almal het gesê, vra uitstel vir hierdie proses. 3 maande, want dit is 'n lang proses, dit is iets wat in diepte ondersoek moet word. Daardie hele verslag, ek het hom by my, ek dink ek het links ook almal aangestuur, 380 bladsye, dis redelik hogere taal vir mense soos ek, wat nie eintlik verstaan wat daar aangaan nie. Maar daar is mense wat verstaan wat daar aangaan, die implikasie daarvan, die implikasie van strate, die implikasie van riool, van water, van geraas, van stof, al daai goed, en dan natuurlik die verlies aan fauna en flora, en die hele invloed wat dit op hierdie kosbare klein dorpie van ons Yzerfontein het. Ek het 'n passie vir Yzerfontein. Die feit dat julle almal hier is, wys vir ons, julle het 'n passie vir Yzerfontein. Kom ons maak dit werk, tot almal se voordeel, nie tot myne of Johan of Stefan of enige iemand hier gou wat daar sit, nie tot een persoon se voordeel. Kom ons probeer 'n middeweg kry, 'n regverdige middeweg. Ons wil niemand te nakom nie. Hoekom sal ons nou dit wil doen? Kom ons werk eerder saam en ons probeer 'n middeweg kry. Dit is op hierdie stadium die groot saak, die groot issue, dink ek, omdat dit nou tydgebonde is. Ons het tot die 27ste Januarie om vertoon te lewer. Mense, ek vra asseblief, lewer daai vertoon. Almal wat geregistreer het as interested in affected parties. Ek het probeer Afrikaans, maar dit het toe nou nie gewerk nie. My span ken ook nie. Maar ons kan vra, asseblief gee vir ons net meer tyd om dit te ondersoek. Ons wil dit goed doen. Ons wil nie 'n halwe saamgeflanste willy-nilly verslag opstel nie. Dit sal nie regverdig wees teenoor die ontwikkelaar nie en ook nie teenoor ons nie. Ons moet dit goed doen, na die beste van ons vermoë. Daarvoor het ons tyd nodig. Ons het iemand gekry, 'n stadsbeplanner, wat kyk daarna. Hy begin maandag eers werk, gelukkig hy. Maar daar lê vir hom werk. Hy het gesê hy sal terugvoer na ons gee oor die punte wat belangrik kan wees. Swartland was ons nog altyd ter wille. Ek dink nie hulle gaan sê nee, hulle kan nie uitstel gee nie. Ek dink tog, hulle sal hulle bes probeer, as hulle weet, ons verteenwoordig die meeste inwoners. Ons het werklik die inwoners se beste belange op die hart. So, julle moet asseblief aansluit by inwonersvereniging. Vorige pogings met baie briewe het niks beteken nie. So, asseblief, sluit aan by inwonersvereniging. Dis nie net die ontwikkeling nie. Onthou, inwonersvereniging gaan baie wyer is dit. Ons wil vir julle luister. Ons wil oor die voertuie wat te vinnig ry, oor honde op die strande, noem dit. Al daai goed is vir ons belangrik. Al daardie bekommernisse van julle wat na concerns at Yzerfontein gerig word deur ons almal gesien. Dit is baie wat elke dag 'n hele paar keer op ons fone deurkom. Maar mense, ons wil. Ons gee om. Ons gaan vir julle luister. Ons gaan terugvoer gee. Ons twee-rigting kommunikasie is vir ons verskriklik belangrik. Dis hoekom dis vandag presies 'n maand vandat ons verkies is. Ons is die 13de Desember verkies. Hier is ons nou op die 13de Januarie. Ek dink ons kan vir onsself hande klap. Ons het wat gedoen in hierdie tyd. Al was dit oor Kersfees en Nuwejaar. Maar asseblief mense, ons het julle ook nodig. Julle moet asseblief ook julle kant bring. En sê vir ons, as julle nie tevrede is met wat ons doen, met hoe ons kant bring. Ons wil van julle hoor en ons gaan luister en ons gaan dit op ons openbare platform plaas, sodat julle ook kan sien wat die ander mense sê. Want dit is nie net 'n twee-rigting kommunikasie, ek en Eddie nie. Dit kan nie werk nie. Dit is ek en hierdie 4 en julle almal en ek hoop nog dubbel soveel. So asseblief, daar's baie mense wat oor see sit. Ek dink julle ken van hulle, ons ken van hulle. Probeer hulle intrek. Hulle het nie 'n belang by inwonersvereniging nie, want hulle weet nie wat gaan aan nie. Hulle weet nie wat ons doen nie. Asseblief, kom ons raak entoesiasties, kom ons wys ons gee om, kom ons gaan vorentoe. Vir Yzer, vir wie ons almal baie lief is.
Dankie Suzette. Janine, ja, net een ding wat Suzette gemis het, is, soos sy gesê het, ons gaan mense kry van stadsbeplanning wat ons gaan help. En dis belangrik, ons gaan daai inligting kry binne die volgende week, en ons sal dit deel met julle, want elke persoon moet sy eie, wat noem jy dit, opposition letter instuur na die munisipaliteit. Ons kan nie net 'n klomp briewe instuur nie, ons weet wat dit in die verlede gebeur het, hulle het dit gesien as een brief. So as mense dit apart instuur, dit gaan baie meer waarde toevoeg en dit gaan ons hand ook sterker maak. So verstaan net dit en daai goed gaan ons deel met julle binne die volgende week, want ons gaan net vir julle op 'n paar punte gee en dan gaan julle die brief moet self opstel en instuur. Baie dankie, Janine.
Baie dankie. Soos Suzette genoem het, dit is vir ons baie belangrik. Daar was voorheen, toe ons net in Desember aangestel was daar die eerste ding wat almal vir ons gesê het is, ons wil kommunikeer, ons wil hê mense moet hoor wat ons sê. Toe ek die WhatsApp groepe oorgeneem het, was daar 2 groepe. 'n Afrikaanse lede groep en 'n English members group. Waarop slegs admins kon kommunikeer. Dit is regverdig en dit is nodig en daarvoor gaan ons daai 2 groepe behou. Ons het gevoel daar is nodig vir iets addisioneel, waarna ek toe 'n groep geskep het, concerns and feedback, Yzerfontein residents concerns and feedback, waar mense dan hulle concerns kon deel. Vinnig het ons agtergekom dat die mense mekaar 'n bietjie aanvat daar en aan die strot gryp. So ons het toe besluit, nee wag, dit gaan nie werk nie, ons moet hierdie saak herbesin. Ek het 'n nuwe e-posadres gestig, concerns@yzerfontein.org. Ek weet nie of julle almal gesien het nie, maar ek glo meeste van julle sou. Gister het ons 2 voorbeelde gedeel van concerns wat ons as 'n komitee bespreek het by 'n vergadering. Wat dit beteken is dat dis nie net my mening nie, dis nie net Suzette of net Pieter of een persoon se mening nie. Dit is 'n gesamentlike plan om met hun concern te deel en geen concern is te benullig of ek weet nie of dit hier irrelevant, ja. Geen is te irrelevant om te tel nie. Dit gaan dalk vir party 'n bietjie langer vat om terugvoer te kan gee of om advies te gee en party mag dalk 'n bietjie meer eenvoudig wees om mee te assisteer of terugvoer te gee, maar ons kan vir julle waarborg dat enige concern wat na concerns@yzerfontein.org gestuur word, sal hanteer word. As gevolg van dit, as gevolg van die nuwe platform wat ons nou geskep het, ek wil ook noem, enige e-posse wat na daai e-posadres gestuur word onmiddellik aan al komiteelede gestuur. So ons almal sien dit die oomblik wat hy deurkom. Na dit het ons nou die WhatsApp groep wat ons gestig het vir interaksie verander na die informasiegroep. Ek wil dit nie verander vir slegs admins om boodskappe te stuur nie, want ek voel dit is steeds belangrik dat mense per WhatsApp ook nou en dan jy weet hulle opinie mag gee. As dit hand uitdruk, ons sal ook as komitee 'n guideline bymekaar sit van reëls wat nie oortree mag word op daai groep nie. Ons gaan nie staan dat mense mekaar sleg maak nie. Wat dan as enige van daai reëls oortree word, sal die persoon van daardie groep verwyder word. Ons main objective, sorry, I'm going to switch over to English want my Afrikaanse woorde hardloop weg vandag. Our main objective, for communication is to distribute the information as widely as possible. We don't want anyone to come and say, I didn't know about that. I didn't hear about that. It is important for everyone to be informed. As I've previously said, we need to give each member the opportunity to voice their opinion, to voice their concerns, and to actively see results and feedback, to see that something is happening. We need to also raise awareness around town. You would be surprised how many people do not know about the existence of the Yzerfontein Residents Association. And I'm asking you guys as our members, have a conversation once a month with someone. Did you join the YRA? Yes, no, why not? Why not? Be a part of the association, have your voice heard, and make a difference with us. Thank you.
Thanks, Suzette. Thanks, Janine. I'd just like to give to Mark quickly, just wants to do a quick condensed version of everything that was said in Afrikaans. We have viewers, that cannot talk back to us. So thanks, Mark.
Okay, thank you. Just for the benefit of the English speakers out there, Suzette was talking about the development and rezoning application of Yzerfontein Farm, or a portion of it, and saying that we need more time to actually properly address this issue, because it's only been literally a month and it's been Christmas. So we need more time, and we are going to be extremely thorough about it. We've engaged with town planners, experienced town planners who understand town planning in this town, and they will apply their minds to it and assist us. And to the extent that we need to take legal action later, we've lined up lawyers as well. That just touches on another point. We're not going to survive on 100 Rand from each one of you. We're going to need a hell of a lot more money. And so we are going to be looking at registering ourselves as a non-profit organization and so on, so that we can actually allow donors to get tax deductions when they do make donations to ourselves. We're going to need more money to do some of the things. And in addition, to review the constitution that we will propose to you guys put to you guys. And once we all happy, we want to make sure that legally it's sound. So we need money for that. So just going back to Suzette, she talked about the factors that need to be considered in focusing on the rezoning application. It's been done in tandem with the environmental impact assessment, and we want to make absolutely sure that that is going to be as independent as possible, because it's quite possible that the rezoning will be allowed subject to an environment impact assessment, and that impact assessment has to be totally independent. That is vital for all of us. We're not going to have anything that's done where there's a benefit or conflict of interest. We have to make absolutely sure of that. So that's really Suzette's side. And then when it comes to communication, half of what Janine said was in English, but the other half was that we've actually reached out to you by setting up a concerned, website, not website, but email address, concerned@yzerfontein.org, that immediately goes to the rest of us, and we then debate concerns and how they should be addressed. We've received a number of them relating to billboards and traffic and various things, and dogs on beaches and misbehavior, Christmas and New Year and stuff like that. And each one of those are going to be addressed by ourselves or the appropriate people. So we are going to be heard. And then, of course, she also talked about the WhatsApp group and the firm hand that she will hold over that group. So I think that's more or less what was discussed. I don't think there's anything else that I've missed out on. Okay, thanks.
Okay, thanks, Mark. It seems like our live streaming is really working. I'm getting quite a number of thumbs up and people sending messages through saying thanks. And so again, thanks, John Ray, for getting this stuff going through the load shedding. Right, we've come basically to the end of our agenda points. I don't know, Peter, if there's something you would like to say. Guys, just, Peter, you can just help me. Currently, we have on record 172, okay, it's grown, 172 paid up members. We are busy working through lists from last year, etc., to go back and see how we can get more members. It's critical. Our aim for this year, 2024, out of the 1,800 houses that's in Yzerfontein, is to get close to 1,000 members. So it's a mammoth task lying ahead of us. Remember also the membership is per household. It's not per individual. So, for each house, we actually only have one membership. So it is a lot, as Mark has said. We do foresee a lot of financial cost coming out with bringing in external bodies and assistance from the outside to help us. We are not specialists in all these fields. So that's why we have to go and get help from the correct authorities. Right, that brings to a close our say, unless there's somebody from my team that would like to say anything. I'm then going to open the floor if there are any questions. If I get to a question, please raise your hand, come forward, because we are live streaming. We can use this mic stand here where I am, so that everyone can hear what the question is. State your name and the question, so that we can then give attention to that. If we don't have the right answer right now, we will come back to you. As Janine says, some of the points that you have raised, we are forwarding to some of the relevant associations within Yzerfontein that they can handle these and then give us feedback. So, right, thank you. Any questions? All right, let's see those hands. Okay, then, Edward, would you like to come forward, please?
Why am I always the first? Ladies and gentlemen, would you like me to speak English or Afrikaans? Afrikaans? Who doesn't understand Afrikaans? The Afrikaans people always understand. Afrikaans people always understand English, but now, are there any English-speaking people who do not understand Afrikaans? Two. Can't the person next to you translate? Maybe I should say how many Afrikaans people can't speak English or don't understand it. Any wants to be brave enough and stick their hands up? Anyway, okay, I'll speak English, seeing this stuff is all in English. I listened carefully to the issue of this new development. And of course, that's going to get everybody up in it is. Because it's a lot of urban, it's 1,036 residential urban. I want to just share a few ideas with you, and it seemed to me that what was raised here by the committee is that the objections are mainly to do with the natural environment. It's not the only reason why there are problems. I looked this morning again, and I must admit I looked very briefly at the rezoning application. But some years ago, there was an application for, I think it was 44 urban, north of the Sunken base. And these people proposed a rather unknown kind of sewage system. There was a basic flaw in the whole thing. It was to be financed by the Homeowners Association. It was a cluster housing environment. But what the developers do is the homeowners associations are governed by their constitution. And what the developers do is they say, we maintain the majority vote, or retain the majority vote on the Board of Trustees until the last stand is sold, but we don't pay any levies. So now what happens if you have one, and that was our argument as a committee at the time, what happens if you have one urban sold, the person needs sewage services, it runs down into this fancy chemical thing that needs constant supervision, and then has an evaporation tank on top. What happens when it rains? What happens if the one person, how can one person pay all the levies for keeping somebody permanent? That was the end of that development. So now I'm looking at this one now. Listen to this, proposed sewerage network. The existing urban in Yzerfontein is currently serviced via septic tanks. That's not a full stop. No existing sewer infrastructure is available in Yzerfontein. Serviced by septic tanks. Let me explain. People have this tendency to think a septic tank is a conservancy tank, a tank into which sewage flows or is piped. It's nonsense. The sewage tank, septic tank is a specific design that drains effluent into, in other words, sewage, separates the solids, floating, sinking, and it drains whatever is left into the surrounding ground. Here's the problem. The previous committee did an evaluation over years about this thing. I mean, this thing comes back from 2009. As at the end of June this year, it's the end of June this year, there was 1,738 residential properties, excluding those that have been subdivided and are now sectional titles. Swartland municipality, without having solid information, says there are 425 valid legal septic tanks. Now that would leave approximately, what we checked, let me rephrase that, what we checked was the number of things that were being pumped out over a whole financial year. It was 889 pumpings. The net result of it is that there are almost 900 properties in this town that are draining sewage against the rules and regulations into the ground. Some people may, and I know some people have, bought their properties without knowing that it has such tank that kind of leaks into the ground. Fact is, almost 900 tanks are leaking into the ground. The capacity of the Darling sewage work is already at capacity. What happens if you add another 900 houses to that? Let's forget about that. Let's just say, excluding the league of septic tanks, that would leave 464 tanks. Properties, sewage added to Darling sewage works. Well, it'll overflow. But it is nonsense in this application to say that the septic tanks are currently used in all of Yzerfontein. It's untrue. Now, what that immediately says is that these people didn't, or the applicant did not discuss this whole issue with Swartland because it's one short paragraph. The membrane system that Swartland municipality put in Malmesbury, they planned it in 2008, I think it started working in 2011, cost at that time 113 million rand. What do you think that'll be today? If this development of 1,036 houses has to generate sewage, and that goes into what? If it goes into a sewage plant, where does the clean water go to? In Malmesbury, you can sell it to the golf course or whoever else because there are properties that can use that water. You can't drink it, but it's perfectly good for irrigation. So just from the point of view of handling sewage, what I'm trying to say is do not concentrate too much on the environment only. There are rock-solid reasons to say this has got a lot of holes in it that Swartland will have to address. And we did discuss it at the previous committee with the management. And what actually will have to happen at some stage is that the sewage plant will have to be put up in Yzerfontein, and that will cost a great deal of money. I would say not less than 500 million and probably closer to R1 billion, which must come from where? Now, for one developer to have the benefit of the residents, the current residents of Swartland, paying for a sewage tank, call it 750 million, whatever you like, is just not on. If the developer wants to put up the sewage plant, fine. But that'll need environmental department approval as well. So, and the same is true of the water supply. They're talking about, when the whole development is done, taking about 20, closer to 25% of the water capacity of the reservoirs. I don't see that working. So the point is really, I cannot see how Swartland would approve this thing, not without addressing these issues. And these are rock-solid facts. You can't get away from it. But it's an utter lie to say septic tanks, because that's not true. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Edward. Some very wise words there. And as we have mentioned, it's a wide topic that we need to address. Any other questions? Could I ask you to come forward, please, ma'am? Right, thanks.
This is horrific. My name is Sydney Hurst. I just shortly want to reiterate something that Edward said, that you guys must take this very seriously. In 2019, we tried to sell our house in a development in Van der Bijl Park. We stayed on the same one. And we got this, I can't even remember how we got it. It was such a shock. I think we got something from the attorneys, call to say that the developer will not sign because there is money owing to him by the builder. The short of the long is, and Jacques did some research, if you are in America, for instance, approximately, I think it was something like 75%, the moment 75% of the stands are sold, the Homeowners Association takes over that development. In South Africa, and we believe they had the same problem at Atlantic Beach in Melkbos, one stand belonging to the developer, one stand only. In our case, even the road, there was a road leading down to the river, that road. He had registered as a stand. Now, who's ever going to buy a road? So until that road is sold, he stays the developer in South Africa and he calls the shots. So in the, I don't know, constitution or something, there was a small thing that we had missed. How would gewone mense soos ons pick it up? To say if there's any money owing to him by any party concerned, he has the right to not sign transfer. So you told, we were allowed to buy the stand, we were allowed to build the house, and then when he had a bee in his bonnet with 7 developers that took a stand against him for builders for whatever reason, there was a court case that's still going on, we believe. And then he took that one little sentence to hold us all at ransom. So what we did is we reached out to an attorney, and you're only allowed to work with attorneys before we get to an advocate. We had an advocate friend, and on the 9th of August 2019, Vrouwendag, we were sitting having a meeting with the attorney and said, how do we send this guy to hell that wants to claim 105,000 rand from us, which the builder never paid him for that stand or for that building works. The short of the long is we eventually agreed that, you know what, we made him an offer, a ridiculous offer, we compromised, we paid the money, and it's not nice. It was not good, not for our health or whatever. We decided, we'll pay you your money, you can live with it, so that we could get rid of the property, move to Yzerfontein and move on. Because it would have taken us, at that stage, Jacques and Albert, was something like 300,000 that we had to put down, wait 2 to 3 years for a high court case to perhaps get on the record. We couldn't move on with our lives. So when Edward says while there's one stand, the developer calls the shots with whatever the case is, and I think, Mark, you'll be able to help. What I'm saying, does that make sense? Does it? You can help me out. I'm finished now, so I just want you to luister what I say.
Look, I think it is, and I think what this just emphasizes is the importance that we do involve lawyers to assist, because we all laymen, even if we have legal backgrounds and so on, we're not experts, and we need expert legal advice. So I think that's the main point I'd like to make.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Sydney, also for those wise words. Yeah, and that was actually on a golf estate, so you can think what it is. Any other questions? Stefan? Like the front row.
En naam is Stefan, ek was by Craig gewees van die begin af wat ons hierdie ontwikkeling wou teëgestaan het. Ek is maar 6 jaar in die dorp en die dorp is my verskriklike mooi plek. Ek kan nie dink dat mense dit so wil vernietig, en wat ons nou van buite af ingekom het, ons gesien hoe die strande gaan nie hoeveel mense kan dra nie. Ons paaie wat in die dorp inloop, van waar ons ingekom het 6 jaar terug tot waar ons nou is, as jy soggens hier uitry of in die middag terugkom, die verkeer het al verskriklik baie toegeneem in vergelyking met wat dit was. Die pad wat al inloop is al stukkend getrap deur die trokke wat binnekort gaan moet gedoen word, so ons gaan binnekort nog daar kom. Ek wil net graag aansluit by hom Edward. Ons het gaan gesels met Simon en so want ons 'n vergadering gehad het met Swartland munisipaliteit en toe het hy 'n baie interessante ding gesê. Hy het saam met ons kom staan en gesels na die tyd dat ons hy 1616 bladsye ingedien het. Toe sê hy die nuwe ontwikkeling gaan oor die rand gaan. As jy nou gaan kyk met 'n ligfoto, dan kan jy sien aan die agterkant van die Atlantic en die westerkant daar's 'n rand wat daar loop en dan gaan hy af daar. So daar's 'n aquifer wat daar vorm in daai dele wat hulle nie wil vreeslik baie graag oor praat nie. En toe sê hy hulle gaan 'n hele nuwe sorietstelsel daar insit want hulle gaan die effluent wegpomp daar so want hulle kan dit nie laat afloop aan daai kant hê. Ons probleem wat ons in die dorp sit is as hulle dit daai kant wil wegpomp want hulle weet daai effluent gaan in die aquifer ingaan. Dan moet julle weet hoe loop ons soriets aan hierdie kant in die see in. Ek weet het hulle het begin toets met die ek het gesien na oom hulle op een van daai jaarverslae het hulle dit opgesit van oom hulle dit getoets en dit was 10 keer meer as wat die toelaatbare hoeveelheid is in ons see al. En as ons see te veel gaan in hê, gaan hulle ons strande toesluit. Weet julle wat gaan dit vir Yzerfontein se hele al die mense wat huise verhuur in hierdie plek te doen hê en wat gaan dit wees as ons strande toegesluit word? So onthou as julle hierdie goeders invul en dit wegstuur dat ons sit hierdie goeders by. Julle sal alles opsit wat ons kan bysit. Elke liewe punt wat ons noem hierso, sit dit op daai ding en sê luister so, dit is ons probleem. Dit is die goed wat al getoets is voordat julle enigstens ontwikkelings en goed wil kom doen, kom toets ons sommer ons water hierso om ons dorp sodat ons hierdie goeders kan uitsorteer en dan raak dit 'n baie duur storie vir Swartland munisipaliteit want hulle gaan hierdie hele dorp opgrawe om vir ons wat se naam sorietstelsel te kom insit in die dorp. So onthou om dit by te sit.
Thanks, Stefan. Right, if there's no further questions, guys, I really do appreciate your attendance. I do appreciate the manner in which this meeting has taken place. It just shows you that if we put our heads together, we can have a very valuable meeting where we can share information. Going forward, this is the first of maybe many special meetings which we will be having this year. We will be sharing information and we also then have the opportunity where we can get more feedback from you. I want to I want to ask, plead by each of you, please use the communication channels that we have put up. We will be giving feedback when we have our monthly meetings. We will, as a management team, be discussing these points so that we can make sure that the feedback is given. It's important that when I talk about we, it's all of us, take hands together and we go forward. There's a lot of people not here. We have the guys streaming. Hopefully next time we can have our Teams meeting up where we can start getting feedback from people. And that's the way we're going to be going forward. So if there's nothing else from anybody, last opportunity, please you need to come forward, Sandy.
Can I speak English? Ek kan Afrikaans praat. My naam is Sandy Wilkins. I am the organizer of the Road Action Group. It was years ago known as the Robot Action Group. And I just want to say that the Road Action Group will give you, the new committee and the Residents Association, all the support. Because I'm still knocking at the door, I'm still keeping the squeak in the wheel going in connection with our dangerous intersection. For 23 years, I've been going on about it and I'm not giving up. I will not give up. One accident is one too many. And we all have to negotiate that intersection, that dangerous intersection. And with all these new proposed developments, our road coming in, the R315, it's not going to take it. It's already taking strain. I've noticed it myself. So just want to assure you, I will keep going until something is done with our dangerous intersection. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy, and that's the way we need to go forward. Right, then, guys, have a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of the day. Okay, yes, sorry. Anybody that still would like to join, we have Peter, treasurer, he's off the money, right? So please sign up by him. The websites are there. If you want to, he can help you. Please assist and please help us going forward to get more members. Thanks a lot. Have a great weekend.